In this video, we're going to be taking a look at two units that I absolutely love, both in terms of performance, cost effectiveness, and in the case of the Hirdmen, how they look. If there's one unit from the Viking roster where the creative assembly has almost nailed the look of a unit, I think it's in the case of these Hirdmother or the Hirdmen. Sure, I mean their chainmail or their brynje could be longer. It would, in many cases, reach down to the knees. A brynje that is too short, like this, you will actually hear or read, if you read sagas. Now, sagas are not historical accounts, but they do offer some interesting insight into Norse society. A brynje or a suit of chainmail, a byrnie, that almost a hauberk would go down a bit further here. But these shorter ones, the problem with a shorter suit of chainmail is that it's very easy, and a lot of warriors die this way. It's very easy to get a spear or even a sword up here towards the groin to cut the femoral artery, or even get the spear into the guts themselves. So, but that is a minor point. This unit is fairly decent. I don't like the shields, however. These shields are not very representative of what you would see on the battlefield for Hirdmother. They would be more like the shield you see, the big round shields you see on other units. Now, talking about the game, not talking about any type of historical representation of warriors of certain times, these units are very cheap for their capabilities. They have the shield wall. The Hearth Guard of the Saxons cost 400. These guys cost 425. And you pay 25 extra for having them immune to psychology or immune to fear, and them scaring other troops. So here you can see they are frightened by the enemy unit, which reduces their morale to 46 compared to the 49 of these Hirdmen. And we're going to see how these units do against each other. To make it a bit more fair, I have upgraded some of the Hearth Guard, so they cost about the same as the Hirdmother. They're still a bit cheaper, but the main thing here is to basically see if you get what you're paying for in terms of fear. Because if you get what you're paying for in terms of fear, then the Hearth Guard should break at an earlier point than the Hirdmen do. We'll see if that happens. Now, of course, in a battle situation, this would be far more chaotic. You would have a general nearby, you would have other units boosting morale nearby. So, this is sort of a very contained experiment without too many confounding factors. So, in battle, things might go one way or the other, depending on which other factors are present. Now, both of these units perform amazingly well in shield wall. They can take down enemy units far above their price range by being in shield wall, but this is just straight up charging to see how they do. These units are not great charging infantry, they are medium, they only have a charge bonus of 15. They are much better defensive and tanky units than they are charging units, but they can do both jobs decently well. And here you can see 32 morale on the Hirdmen and 30 on the Hearth Guard. Down the line, 37, only 26 here, because this unit is losing against the unit with the Hearth Guard with a single chevron. And this is quite interesting, because if it's better to put a single chevron on a Hearth Guard than it is to have the fear on the Hirdmother, that actually gives the Hearth Guard an edge, in my opinion. And if you would do something like bring 6 of these units, you actually save something like, you save 130.
The men are losing hope.
150 actually. You save 150 by bringing the Hearth Guard. However, it does look like vanilla Hearth Guard lose but it's very. You can see how similar it is, because in terms of combat ability, these units are almost identical. But they are identical. It's just the fear that's the difference. So you can see that when units start breaking here, this unit is going to rout due to casualties sustained. You're also going to get penalties that happen when an enemy unit when a friendly unit is routing. So in most of the engagements, the Hirdmother were actually able to win, although the first engagement went in favor of the Hearth Guard, and this wasn't even upgraded Hearth Guard. This was just vanilla Hearth Guard. So the fear doesn't make a massive difference in all cases. But still, these units are very evenly matched. They are both great units. I would have preferred to have fear be an optional ability, so that you could choose to upgrade your units in different directions. Now, I realize that's a bit far-fetched, but it would be really cool to be able to customize units for multiplayer to get the units that you need, but oh well. But yeah, I mean, the Hirdmen and the Hearth Guard are very evenly matched. In some cases, the fear from the Hirdmen will tip the balance in favor of them. However, give the Hearth Guard an upgrade and things are... If all of these Hearth Guard had an upgrade, I think we would see a lot more similar results. And I think a lot more even results. And I think if the exact same amount of upgrades had been spent on the Hearth Guard as the total cost of the Hirdmen, then I think the Hearth Guard actually takes it. That might be a test for another day, but these units are very similar. These units are very evenly matched, and the fear, in my opinion, the fear isn't that huge, because there are so many big morale boosters that the small bonus from fear alone isn't really going to do much, but in conjunction with other negative modifiers, it might become important. Strength and honor.